Ya Ali Madad, Alwaaz, Rai Abu Ali Missionary, wise number 973.
Thursday, 16th of July 1992. My wise at Lake Barnaby Jamaat Khana of Vancouver. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad al-Mustafa wa ali Muhammad al-Mustafa ila qiyamah. Ya Ali Madad, आओ मारा स्वामी राजा धर्मी राजा तोरे नाम सोरे मारो मनड़ो बांधो। मौलाना हज़रत इमाम पे सल्लल्लाहु। छोटी सी वाइज है हज़रत इमाम के पदनामिनी की बाबत में। मैं आज आपको मिक्स लैंग्वेज के अंदर इंग्लिश और हिंदुस्तानी मिला के बोलूंगा, इसलिए कि बहुत से यंगस्टर्स भी हैं। दिस इवनिंग आई एम स्पेशली concerned to say about Baitul Khayal. Maulana Hazrat Imam, right from the beginning of our tariqah from Maulana Ali, every Imam has bestowed upon us those people who really want to know something about spiritual life and hereafter. And they get bol, Isme Azam in Arabic, and there are some other words also, like in Ginans we say Ajam Piya Jab, but normally we say bol. Bol means a word. Rasulullah also used to mention that Muslims must find and seek for an Isme Azam. And he has given some signs about it in the traditions. नबी करीम के ज़माने के अंदर कुछ थोड़े से लोग ऐसे थे कि जिनको यह ख्याल होता था कि इस दुनिया के अंदर नमाज और रोज़े के सिवा और भी कुछ है, तो वह नबी के पास जाके पूछा करते थे। When Rasulullah died, there were about 500,000 Muslims. Amongst 124,000 Prophet of Allah, Muhammad Rasulullah was the only Prophet who succeeded very honorably, satisfactorily in his mission. No other prophet got so much success in his life. When Jesus died, there were not even 100 disciples. And now, half of the world belongs to this Jesus. Muslims also are very numerous. But during the lifetime of Muhammad, there were 500,000 Muslims. Over 125,000 Muslims accompanied him to the last Hajj. But very few thought about spiritual side of life. Very few. Masses were ignorant, illiterate, backward, and they were not very much far from animal life. I cannot say here or give any examples from the history, but you can read it. My request is to those who can read, spend about half an hour every day reading the Islamic history. This will give you a lot of insight. नबी करीम के ज़माने में 40 ऐसे आदमी थे। मैं अपनी वाज़ों में बहुत दफ़ा इन 40 के नाम भी बाजों के ले चुका हूं कि जो सुबह की इबादत करते थे, वो लोग शाम को मस्जिद में आ जाते थे और सारी रात मस्जिद में गुजारते थे, दूसरे दिन सुबह घर जाते थे। इन मुसलमानों को, जिनको ये ख्याल आता था कि मौत हक है, एनी पर्सन इन वर्ल्ड, whether he is a believer or non-believer, ask him, are you going to die? He will say yes. That's the only haq. Whether poor, whether rich, a healthy person or sick person, small or big, no one will say, I will not die. Death is inevitable, and it is a haq, truth. So those sensible people who think about human life, what is human life? We are born just like a small doll. Parents handle us. They provide every comfort. We become young, get married, and thinking that no one is like me, because that person who has become young, he has seen the things which he has never thought about. But when he gets older, he realizes his mistakes, he realizes his problems, he realizes his failures, and when he becomes still more older and death becomes nearer, then at that time the realization comes to those who really think about it. What is death? Death is not horrible. Death is a union with the Creator. But for those who understand it, they are very happy at the time of death. This is a part of spirituality. Quran is full of telling us about our actions, our accountability, and the life hereafter. And Allah says, this life on earth, Hayawatud Dunya, is just a dream. And it is true. Amongst all the Muslim sects of 70 or 73, we are one of them. Normally, they say 70 or 72 or 73, but when I started counting from the history, it is more than 100 now. But we are one of those. Only about 19 or 20 Sufis, they have their own orders, their own way and method, and they maintain the spiritual life on this earth. But we are the most fortunate people that we have been given guidance and direction from Hazrat Imam, who is always present amongst us, and he is the master. दीनदारों, हज़रत इमाम की तरफ से दिया हुआ ये जो बोल है, सारी दुनिया के इस्लाम के अंदर से जितने भी फिरके हैं, कोई ऐसे नसीबदार नहीं जैसे कि हम हैं। अल्लाह ताला ने कुरान में जिस नूर का जिक्र किया है कि दुनिया के अंदर नूर मुबीन है, मुबीन वन हु कैन सी हिम। किसी मुसलमान से कभी दोस्ती होवे तो उसको पूछो कि कुरान, is it now elapsed in time, whether it has become an ancient and unable to follow book? He will say no, Quran is for every time. So then in Quran it is written, God has sent Nurum Mubin. Where is that Nur that we can see? So through this Nur, Nur of Ali, Nur of Imam, we get a bowl. It is an attribute of Allah, like Rahim, like Rabb. Rahim means merciful. Rahman means compassionate. Rabb means maintainer or sustainer. So there are so many names of Allah. They are attributes. Maulana Hazrat Imam, he pleases, he chooses whatever he wants to give to the people who become Baitul Khayal members. And Hazrat Imam gives them a bowl. Suppose that bowl is Ya Rabb. I'm giving an example. So every day in the morning you have to get up at 4 o'clock. It is enjoined upon us this 1 hour, particularly 4 to 5, wherever you are, either in India or in Japan. The local time is 4 to 5. Get up at that time and for 1 hour sit, removing all the thoughts from your mind. Concentrate on the bowl and its meaning. Ya Rabb, O the sustainer. Because he is the only sustainer. So, what sustainer means? Not only to give food, even clothes, and everything to maintain life comes under sustenance. So therefore, whatever the bowl Hazrat Imam will give us, at that time there is always 1 or 2 or more missionaries who I have seen are there, and it is their duty, it is the duty of the missionary present there to explain to the audience the bowl, its pronunciation and also its meaning. And he is also duty bound to tell you how to sit, how to concentrate. It's a technique. There are ways. It's a kind of training. Automatically you will not understand. You want a teacher. And missionaries amongst so many Jamaats are there, but particularly that time, it may take 1 hour, it may take 2 hours. But each and every person who is sitting there, he must get direct training from the missionary who was present there. It's very, very important. Its meaning, its pronunciation, because Arabic words are there. Gone those days when Imam used to give us a naqsh. From 76 onward, Hazrat Imam has stopped giving naqsh, maybe to individual. Naqsh is the writing of the name of Allah, whatever Hazrat Imam gives, say, Ya Rabb, for instance. So you have to write it down. Hazrat Imam also writes on a slate when he gives a naqsh, but now he doesn't give. Naqsh is very, very difficult. So you have to keep that naqsh, the Arabic writing of Allah's attribute. You have to remember it, get its photocopy in your mind and memorize it. Always think about it. Always close your eyes and see that. That is known as naqsh. Naqsh means an inscription. Naqsh means a figure. So it should be so much memorized that you can concentrate without effort. While keeping the naqsh before you, you also have to repeat that bowl without using the tongue. Do not move your tongue even if your mouth is closed. Do not use tasbih while you are meditating of ibadat. Do not close your eyes completely. the two lids of your eyes, upper and lower, must not touch. Keep a very thin opening so that the oxygen touches your eyeballs and you may not fall asleep. If you close your eyes within 10-15 minutes, you will tend to sleep, and this slumber will be a loss. So Baitul Khayal is a very important thing. Actually, Ismailism means Baitul Khayal. It is through Baitul Khayal that we get the marifat, understanding of realization of Hazar Imam. We say Hazar Imam is Nur, but we do not know what is Nur. Hazar Imam says, when Allah will give you something, you will immediately come to know what is that. You have not to ask anyone. Never tell any experience to anyone, no matter how near that person is to you. Your mother, your father, your husband, your wife, your child, anyone, not even to missionaries. You must not express your experience to anyone. It is particularly for you. And if you do it, mind you, for the whole life you have lost that. It will never come again. Maulana Sultan Muhammad Shah said, Amaro bhed, it is also in Ginan. Amaro bhed je khol se, ame ena upar gusse thasu, naraz thasu, risai jasu. It is also true, if Hazar Imam comes in dream, you may get a dream of Hazar Imam, but never tell to someone. Keep it with you. He will come again. And the moment you tell someone, Aja Maula Bapa Mara Sapna ma aave aata, very good, congratulations, but then it will not come. It is a personal touch. Your spirit and Maula's spirit. Your soul and his soul. Our soul is a spark, is a reflection of you. So we must keep it absolutely secret between you and him. Baitul Khayal ka bol, kabhi kisi se baat nahi ho sakti. Never even bring to your tongue. Do not speak it, do not write it. So very important. But I'm closing my voice. I must tell one thing. Emphatically, I give pressure and emphasis on this thing. If any young man comes to me, I have no ball, missionary sahib, what do you suggest? May I go to? My first impression or answer will be no, don't go and don't take ball. There was time when Imam Sultan Muhammad Shah told our missionaries to tell people who are 16 and above, come to me and have a bowl. But that was 60 years ago, 50, 60 years ago. Time has changed. In those days, anyone who wanted to go to Baitul Khayal for 2-3 years, he used to go to Jamaat Khana Parodiye before 4 o'clock to just create an habit. And here we take bowl, and then for a month we are very emotional, and in that emotion and heat we come to Jamaat Khana, and for 1 month, 6 months, 1 year gone. Many people, they forget the bowl, and Hazar Imam doesn't like it. He becomes annoyed when he knows that you have forgotten a bowl. So normally I would say don't come unless you are convinced that you will be able to do it for the rest of your life. Complete whole life. If you are now 20, you might live 90 years, or next 70 years you have to fulfill your promise to Maula Bapa. Are you ready for that? If you are 30 years old, still I will tell you, you have to live another 60, 70 years. You might live even 100 years. But this is for the rest of your life. So don't take bowl unless you are absolutely 100% convinced and sure that in any circumstance, whether you are sick, although Hazrat Imam gives some relief, but in any condition of human physical life or mental life, wherever you are, you must stick to this principle that by 4 you must get up. इंसान भूल का पात्र है, 4 बजे नहीं सही, 4:15, 4:15. But between 4 and 5, in abnormal conditions, at least 20 minutes, at least, you must sit and make a habit of increasing up to 30 minutes, then 40 minutes, then 60 minutes. There may be a time, if you are indulged in that, there may be a time, Momino, you will be craving to sit for 2 hours, 3 hours. Nothing wrong. Nothing wrong. But mind you, between 4 and 5, that's the obligation. And then whole day you can remember that you are walking and remembering it. So this is a training. Mawla may give you strength, bakshish, rahmat, his favor, and protect you from all sins, from Satan, from calamities, from abnormalities of life, from problems of life, and all sorts of difficulties and pain and sorrow may be removed from your heart. Mawla bless you and give his didar. Swami Raja More Man Thina Visre Ji Suno Suno मोमन रहिया हो जी रे भैया तेरी मेरी साया एक मन एक चिंता स्वामी राजा भरपूर रहिया हो जी रे भैया. Thursday, 24th of July 1992. My voice at Lake Barnaby Jamaat Khana of Vancouver, on the topic of our ceremonies in Huzur of Maulana Hazar Imam. Ya Ali Madad. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad al-Mustafa wa ali Muhammad al-Mustafa ila Khayal. मोमिनों मैं आवाज शुरू करूं. हमारी जमात के अंदर एक भूल शुरू होती है तो फिर वो दुरुस्त होती ही नहीं. मिसाल के तौर पे दुआ में, तस्बीहों में हम लोग बहुत थोड़े हैं कि जो ठीक पढ़ते हैं. अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह को अलहम्दुलिल्लाह कहते हैं. अलहम्दुलिल्लाह रॉन्ग है. कोई मुसलमान सुनेगा तो हमारी मस्खरी करेगा. अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह उसमें आ नहीं आता. शुक्रन लिल्लाह वल्हम्दुलिल्लाह, शुक्रन लिल्लाह वल्हम्दुलिल्लाह वल्हम्दुलिल्लाह. दुआ के अंदर भी बिस्मिल्लाहिर्रहमानिर्रहीम, अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह, अलहम्द नहीं. एक शब्द सुनो मेरे भाई, मैं आवी सुगड़ पंथ भाई, मैं आवी सुगड़ पंथ भणे कौल करारिया भाई मैं अभी कौल करारी सॉरी मौलाना हज़रत इमाम पे सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम। Last Thursday, I had spoken about Baitul Khayal, which is the most important duty and sector of our faith. Tonight, I will speak about some other ceremonies that Maulana Hazar Imam will graciously, kindly accept. The part of Ginan that I have spoken, recited, Bishamas reminds us that you are very lucky that you came into this Sat Panth, which is Sugad Panth. Sugad means purest, which has no impurity and no abomination. The last part says that I have come into this faith with my promise and agreement, with my conviction and my readiness to accept this faith. Anyone who wants to come into our fold, he has to make a bayat, which is in our language, Ginanic language, is known as Kangvo. Kangvo means bayat. Bayat means allegiance. We give promise and our allegiance to Hazrat Imam that, O Mawla, I accept you as my Imam and I will act whatever you say. You are my guide and supreme master. And then there is a promise that I will be obedient to you, O Mawla, and my tongue, that means physical side of my life, my mental side of life, man, and my dhan, anything that I possess in this world, movable or immovable property, I will make that no disobedience occurs because of these three things, tan, man, dhan, which we have already offered and submitted to Hazrat Imam. This is known as bayat. This is Kangbo. Where Hazrat Imam is not in the town and a child is born, so the representative of the Imam is Mukhi in the Jamaat. Whoever sits in this gadi, he is accepting bayat on behalf of Hazrat Imam. Without bayat, no one is an Ismaili. So therefore, we have been told by our peers, it is our tradition, which is coming from Rasulullah, that any child who come to this world, he must be submitted to the Mukhi or the Imam or Peer of that time for making a bayat, and this allegiance is very necessary. Without this, that person is not a murid of Hazrat Imam. Therefore, I draw your attention that after the birth, within 13 days of the birth of the child must be brought to Mukhi for making a bayat. It is very necessary within 13 days, but definitely after 6 days. Normally we say Chatti Mandan Vinota. Chatti means registration, so that a child has been born to the parents so and so, and on such and such date this register is maintained in the Jamaat, in the council. So this is the bayat. And then on behalf of Hazrat Imam, Mukhi gives his hand for kissing, places his hand on the child and gives chanto. So we have Kangvo, Kankan, chanto. Kangvo is bayat, that we give promise to Hazrat Imam, and Kankan is Hazrat Imam gives promise to us that I will intercede you, I will help you, I will protect you, and I will guide you. I am your Imam, not only in this world but hereafter too. So he has given a promise to us. He has also taken a kind of responsibility to look after our religious side, our Ruhani side. This is intercession. Just as we give promise to Hazrat Imam to be obedient to him, likewise Hazrat Imam accepts our bayat and he gives us the promise that he will hold our hand in this world and in the hereafter. Te din Swami mune paas tera vajoji. Te din means Roz Qayamat, the day of judgment. Te din Swami mune paas tera vajoji. Pakadi le jo maro haath, dasi chun teri. I'm your murid, I'm your slave. You are my master. It is my prayer that on the day of judgment, please hold my hand. This is intercession, and this is the promise of Hazrat Imam. You must have heard my voices. Many times I have given an instance of Mombasa, how amongst all the Muslims, Maulana Sultan Muhammad Shah said that for Ismailis, I am responsible on the day of judgment. After this bayat, after this promise from Hazrat Imam the conquered, then Mukhi gives a chanto or Hazrat Imam gives a chanto. Those people who remember the first bayat of Hazrat Imam in 1957, he was giving chanto to every individual. But now it is difficult. The names will be placed and Hazrat Imam will accept the bayat, the kangvo and the intercession promise, which is kankan and chanto. Mominin, I explain to you and expressively I tell you clearly, bayat is not only once in life. You can repeat it every year when Hazrat Imam comes. In olden days, Maulana Sultan Muhammad Shah used to come to India every year. From 1897 to 1946, he used to come practically every year. And every year people flocked all over India and even from the adjacent territories like Iran, Afghanistan, Badakhshan, they used to come and make bayat, and Sultan Muhammad Shah was accepting. It is also in its farman. Bayat can be revived. It can be offered anytime you like. So make bayat. All those children who were born after 1978 Hazrat Imam's Padramani, I will request rather, will tell you that let these children revive their bayat. Kangvo, Kankan, Chanta. And even elderly people. Don't be surprised. I have also registered my name in bayat, Kankan and Chanta at this age too. Because it is my privilege that I revive my promise and get promise from him and also chanto. He accepts it, that's all. So it is not only for once in the life, but as many as time you can revive. Then comes to the Mahadin chanto. Mahadin chanto, it is definitely not only once in the life. The announcement that we have made is because Hazrat Imam has sent this message here, that those people who have already taken Mahadinjo Chanto, they should not be accepted for the renewal this time. It's not the criteria, it's not the principle, but certainly after 50 or any age after that, man can take Mahadinjo Chanto anytime when Hazrat Imam comes, provided Hazrat Imam has got the ample time for that. This time he is very busy and he cannot spend much more time because we are too many people here. So that is the reason. Otherwise, Mahadinjo Chanto also can be revived. But this time, all those people who have taken Mahadinjo Chanto once in their life, they should not register their name. Some say, I don't remember whether I have taken or not. So they can also not be registered because they are not sure whether they have taken or not. We want a convicted person that I have never taken, so he should be registered. What is Mahadinjo Chanto? Mahadin means the great day, and that is the day of judgment. That is the day of our death, because it is the death time, a little bit earlier than we actually die, and afterward our account starts. Our account starts. Normally, physical death is, or what we say, biological death. Doctors say, heart stops, eyes become stone, and there is no life in the brain. He is dead. Doctor gives the certificate. But from spiritual point of view, the jeev is still there. 9 out of 10 times, the jeev is still there even after heart is failed. Heart stops. He is dead. But spiritually he is not dead. So long the cells of the body are not started degenerating, life is there inside. And that is the time when account takes place. Because that accounting has nothing to do with the running of the blood in the arteries. It has nothing to do with the lungs breathing or not breathing. That's a spiritual matter. So long the cells of our body are alive and have not started degenerating, because so long the life is there, no cell will degenerate. So it may take few minutes, it may take few hours, it may take few days. Sometimes the accounting even continues in the grave. I remember many years ago, about 40 or 42 years ago in Dar es Salaam, if anyone Dar es Salaam old man is there, he might be remembering. There is a widow house next to our Darkhana Jamaat Khana in Dar es Salaam. A dosi old woman died, about 90 years of age. She died. And she was taken to the graveyard. And she was just put in the grave. 2 young persons who was arranging everything. One man shouted, Mukhi Sahab, Ajib piche, she is alive. Her hand trembled, then a foot trembled, and when the coffin was taken over, she said, Aam kidaya, in the grave. She was taken out and she lived another 6 months. We cannot tell a person whether it is dead or not. So accounts start a little bit earlier than the actual death, not the biological death. So that is a great day. That is the Qayamat for us. Not that the whole complete world will perish one day. So have we to stay about 425,000 years, which is still this world will stay. 425,000 years are still living this earth, and all life will be on this earth. we have to give our account at the time of death. Maut is Qiyamah. So, Ya Mawla, on that day, at the time of my death, you be with me, hold my hand, forgive me, and give me your energy and your strength. This is Mahadinjo Chanto that Maulana Hazrat Imam gives to a person, and then he gives him some kind of words, bakshish, which is only between Maula Bapa and the person. And after that, the person who has taken Chanto, until he dies, Momino, that person must not jani joine, knowingly, intentionally, do anything which is contrary to the principle of our faith. No sin must be committed, and he must live a very pious and pure life, spiritual life. It's a promise, and that is Madinjo Chanto. We take Madinjo Chanto, backbiting and ninda and hasad and all sorts of things that our religion forbids us. So then what is the use of taking this Madinjo Chanto? Otherwise, when we die, Mukhi Sahib gives us the Madinjo Chanto. Sometimes Kamadiya Sahib comes. And that Madinjo Chanto, which is given by Mukhi or Kamadiya, at the time of death, earlier or after death, to Mayat we give Chanto. This is Madinjo Chanto on behalf of Hazrat Imam. If we do not take any Chanto from Hazrat Imam, we are going to have one Madinjo Chanto at the time of our death. But it's a privilege when Maulana Hazrat Imam comes physically in the city or town, we go to him and take Madinjo Chanto and promise that Maula, forgive my sins, and from today I will be more diligent, sincere, and try to be sinless. That is Madinjo Chanto. So, Momano, these are the things that we must understand. Now about Khoro. Khoro means going to Maula Bapa and begging him to pray for us, give blessings so that I may get a child. A woman who has never conceived, a woman who is childless, and she wants to get a child, she should go to Maulana Hazrat Imam. It is our pratha, our tradition. Even Imam Sultan Muhammad Shah's mother, many years of her marriage was childless, and she wanted to have a child. Hazrat Imam Sultan Muhammad Shah's mother, wife of Aga Ali Shah, so she asked one of her servants, a Khoji Bai, would you take me to Imam for Khoro Bharano? So she was very much surprised. Mata Salamat, you will go there? Why not? He is the Imam. Her father-in-law, Hasan Ali Shah Mabab, was Imam at that time. So Mata Salamat, she donned a Khoji dress and bring the chero very much down, covered her head, and with the company of a Khoji Bai, she came to Kandi Mullah Jamaat Khana of Bombay. Maulana Hasan Ali Shah was Imam. Maulana Ali Shah, her husband was Ali Shah. He was pir at that time. And there, in the line that all those ladies which were going for Khoro Bharano, she also came. There was Haji Kamadiya next to Hazrat Imam. And that Khoji Bai told Haji Kamadiya Bapa, Maula ke araj karo, he munji sethani hai, inke bachcho nae. Kamadiya Sahab, please pray to Maula Bapa that she is my boss and she is wanting a child. Maulana Hasan Ali Shah Mabab gave an apple to her and blessed her. And then Maulana Hasan Ali Shah Mabab said, Inshallah, you will get a beautiful son. You will get a son. But you must go to Jamaat Khana every day. She was an Isnashari, not an Ismaili. But still he told her, go to Jamaat Khana and with your pachhedi, the cloth that you cover your head, with that pachhedi, clean Jamaat Khana and then wear it. Inshallah, with the barakat of the dust of Jamaat Khana and my blessings, you will get a son. And she got a son, Maulana Sultan Muhammad Shah, after 10 months. So this is the martaba of Jamaat Khana, and this is the blessings of Khodo. Any woman who has no child, she may go have Khodo. And also, it is our pratha, our tradition, that when she conceives first child, also they go to Mola Bapa or Mukhi Sahib for Khodo Bharano. But this time, only this time, it is not allowed that anyone who has already 1 or 2 children, and either she is conceived, pregnant, so she cannot go for Khodo Bharano this time, because Hazar Imam has got hardly 2 days for us. But otherwise it is our tradition that at the time of first pregnancy she can go to Mukhi Sahib and get Khodo Bharano, or if Hazar Imam is in town, this privilege and chance can also be attained and achieved. But those people who have already children, they cannot do it. Another thing is, and that is child bakshamani. It is our tradition for thousands of years. We have the evidence that right from Hazrat Ibrahim alayhi salam, 5,000 more than that years ago, it is the tradition that first child, male child, not daughter, but first son, should be given as a sacrifice to the Imam of the time. So we give this arpan, submission, first male child, we give to Hazrat Imam. So when Hazrat Imam comes, we tell him that please you accept it and please give me back. Normally Hazrat Imam does not give back. He says the child remains mine, but I'm giving you back to look after him. He is my child. So be more careful. Look after his health, his education and his spiritual side. So child bakshamani is also a normal procedure and normal tradition, which is very old tradition. But child bakshamani, sometimes there are complications in the pregnancy. So the father or the mother, they take a vow, Ya Mola Bapa, to delivery say salamati jirat hi bachon to ke dai dinati. So in that case also you can take it back, and this is child's bakshamani. But child bakshamani should be very careful. You cannot just give any child. You must have the vow before his birth, and it must be a male that you give to Maulana Hazrat Imam. I cannot speak more because it requires more elaboration, maybe inshallah next time. But before concluding here, I want to tell my brothers and sisters how to behave in the huzur of Hazrat Imam. Qazi Noman has written a book, a code of conduct in the presence of Hazrat Imam. I will tell you in a very brief manner, and if you have any question you can ask me. When you go to Maulana Hazrat Imam, this time only Mehmani people and those people who will be getting chanto of Mahadir, and maybe the ball people who go to Maulana Hazrat Imam. But individually will be Mehmani people and chanto people. When you go to Hazrat Imam, I draw your attention and I press and emphatically I tell you, do not wear any black cloth. You know, black is the color of our enemies. Read our history. It is also in a hadith, Rasulullah has very clearly mentioned that those who are enemy of Ahle Bayt, they will wear black cloth. Maulana Hazrat Imam came to Dar es Salaam After 57, he had third visit, 1958. And at that time, there was one Mukhi, I do not give his name. He had cream color suit, very nice Mormon fellow, Mukhi Sahib, Darkhana Mukhi of Dar es Salaam. Maroon tie, I still remember that man. But his socks were of black color, only socks. Maulana Hazar Imam came up on the Jamaat Khana, and during the walk, Mukhi was behind. Hazar Imam turned and told Mukhi, "You are wearing black socks in the presence of your Imam?" He immediately removed his socks and gave to one volunteer, and he walked barefoot, but he removed his socks. Hazar Imam, he did not tolerate even black socks. When you go to Hazar Imam, do not wear black cloth of any kind. Secondly, do not speak until Hazar Imam stops. Let him speak first. He will give you blessings. And if you want to speak anything, do not start speaking. Khudavan, I want to ask something. Get his permission first. Because he is not a man. He is our Malik. If he allows you, then you speak. Otherwise he may tell you, you just give me in writing. Okay, give in writing. And normally it is allowed. You have any long urge, write an arijo, an application, and put in the cover, seal it, and then when you go to Hazar Imam, he will see a cover, he himself take this cover and give to Mukhi or to whomever he pleases. But you must not tell anything to Maulana Hazar Imam. Let him give you blessings. If he asks anything, give him a reply. He might ask you how many children you have, what are you doing, how is your health, how is your life, something like that. Then reply exactly what it is. No hanky-panky, no lies. But if you want to make an arijo, write it, put in cover, seal it, take it with you. Third thing I want to tell you, many people, they smoke. Nicotine is such a thing, even if you rub with the Dettol and other things, still it stinks. Well, this time I cannot tell you what to do with smoking, but it is my request that at least 3 or 4 hours before going to Hazar Imam, stop smoking. If you can stop right from the night, it is good. Don't smoke. One day, take a pinch. Because I cannot tell you many things. I have got so much experience from Maulana Hazar Imam. He dislikes. So take care of it. Second, or fourth or fifth, do not have chewing gum or pan in your mouth. Brush nicely, and you must not breathe offensively. And do not just go very much near to Maulana Hazar Imam unless he drags you to near him. Remain a little bit distant. So Maulana Hazar Imam has some trouble with his vertebra, and he has continually back trouble. Do not make Maulana Hazar Imam to bend down for your sake. So you bend, but not too much. Hold the mehmani in your hands, and he will bless you. Sometimes he keeps his hand and press your shoulder to come little bit down. If he presses it, you still go down. Because if you are very tall, he has some discomfort. If you are bending too much down, still he has the discomfort. And for this reason, Maulana Hazar Imam doesn't like anyone going down to his feet. So do not go up to his feet, because he has to lift you up, and this gives him a lot of inconvenience and pain. thing. Take bath. Normally we do take bath, but that day particularly be more careful about taking bath. Absolutely clean new clothes, and please do not perfume yourself with alcoholic perfume. Hazar Imam is Imam, and alcohol in Islam is not allowed, it's forbidden. So do not have any essence, any scent, any perfume which has the base of alcohol. Use the attar, oil-based perfume, which is very much available. And these are the things. Inshallah, some other things, if time permits, I may come again next week and give you something more. Mola bless you. दिन दुनिया जी नियामतों दिए, बदियों बुराइयों गुनाहों से बचावे, आफतों बलाओं मुश्किलों बीमारियों दफे दूर करे, नेक मुरादों पूरियों करे. मौलाना हाजिर इमाम आज मथे आज आल औलाद मथे हमेशा राजी थिए, फरमान बरदार मोमन बनावे, दसबंदी सुखरीति बनावे, धर्म कर्म नियम में पूरो रखे, भूल चूक माफ करे, गुनाह बख्शी दिए, अने आज मरे जी नेक उम्मीदों पूरी करे, सुखी आबाद रहो. मौला दीन में दुनिया में आके नियामतों दिए, बरकतों दिए, खुशियाँ दिए, आज मथे राजी थी है. ऐसा आमीन आमीन.